We want to give you a few more thoughts about taking God on a date. First, let me remind you that differences can promote growth. Demanding that your date have exactly the same spiritual values as you could be a problem. You need to be in agreement on the fundamentals of your faith. But you also want to be in relationship with someone who's thought through their own spiritual issues deeply and individually and has reached his or her own conclusions. So don't interpret religious agreement or even passivity on your date's part as something like compatibility. In fact, we'll encourage you to fall in love with someone who's passionate about matters of faith enough to wrestle with and discuss their meanings with you. Some of the most meaningful times of growth for dates can be when they argue, read the Bible, and come to terms on spiritual matters.
Second, watch to see how your date integrates faith into real life. After all, there are religious people and there are spiritual people. Religious people know the truth. Spiritual people do the truth. You want yourself and your date to have lives that reflect both knowing and doing spirituality in the real world. And that is what character is really all about. It's about integrating the realities of God's ways into everyday life and in all aspects of your life, the relational part, the financial part, the sexual part, job part, and everything else that comprises life.
Another aspect of the spiritual part of dating is that it is important to matter to each other on a spiritual level. Be part of each other's spiritual growth and conduct. Even if you don't end up marrying the person, you need to take the stance that during your tenure as dates, you will both grow spiritually. We encourage you to develop a relationship in which you're both challenging each other to walk your talk. And evidence of walking your talk is found in two things: the ability to love and the ability to be humble. Truly spiritual people know they don't have it all together. In fact, the opposite is true. They know how deep their failings are and how much they need God's grace and His love. And as a result, they're able to empty themselves and to love other people.
Ultimately, the spiritual part of dating means we're to set limits on all sorts of desires and impulses within ourselves. We don't demand the other person to be compatible spiritually if they're not. We don't try to change the other person spiritually. We don't deny spiritual conflicts in the relationship. We don't overlook our own spiritual weaknesses and focus on our partners. And we aren't afraid to address spiritual issues. However, as we continue to grow spiritually, it becomes easier to do these things. It becomes easier to love and invest our hearts wisely and well in our dating lives.